Before we dive, and if you're ready to stop playing small and start becoming the person you were born to be, smash that like button, subscribe to BookMind, watch this video till the end, because by the time you're done, you won't just think differently, you'll feel unstoppable. Let's begin. You are a badass. It's not a compliment. It's not flattery. It's a fact, but one you may have spent years forgetting. Because somewhere along the line, life convinced you to settle, to play it safe, to shrink, to believe that other people get to live epic lives while you just survive yours. But here's what you are: a badass is here to scream loud and clear. You are not put on this planet to struggle, to feel small, or to watch from the sidelines. You were born to thrive, to create, to live loudly. And Jen Sincero, she's not here to politely coach you through this. She's here to wake you up like a bucket of cold water to the face with truth bombs, attitude, and zero sugarcoating. You can't fix what you deny exists. Let's get real. If you're broke, bored, unfulfilled, anxious, or just feeling stuck, you didn't arrive there by accident. You've been living by a script written by childhood programming, cultural expectations, fear-based thinking, and that endlessly nagging voice in your head telling you you're not enough. The first step to becoming a badass isn't making a vision board or drinking green juice. It's admitting that you're living a life below your potential, and that you and only you have the power to change it. As Jen puts it, you need to go from wanting to change your life to deciding to change it. There's a world of difference between wanting and deciding. Wanting is passive. Deciding is power. The inner critic, your lame roommate, you know that voice inside your head? The one that whispers, "You're too old. You'll never make enough money. You're not smart, pretty, talented enough. People will laugh if you try." That's not truth. That's your ego, the small, scared part of you. That's trying to protect you from failure, rejection, or change. Jen Sincero calls it your big fat subconscious mind, or your inner roommate. And it's running the show more than you realize, you see? Your subconscious mind was programmed when you were a kid before you had critical thinking. So if someone once told you money is evil, success is selfish, or love always ends in heartbreak, guess what? You probably still believe that deep down, and you're unconsciously living it out every day. The voice in your head is not you. It's just a story you've been repeating. You can reprogram it. And when you do, everything changes. Spiritual. Jim, you're plugged into source energy here. It's where Jen flips the script. She doesn't just talk mindset, she dives straight into energy. You are not just a body. You're a powerful, energetic being. And whether you call it God, the universe, source, or just vibes, there's something far greater than you that you're connected to. Jen's core belief is this: the universe wants you to win. It's not testing you, it's waiting for you to remember who you are. When you align with the energy of abundance, courage, joy, and trust, life responds. Opportunities flow, people show up, ideas land, doors swing open. It's not magic, it's alignment. The problem? Most people are tuned to the wrong frequency. Doubt, fear, scarcity, shame. And they wonder why life feels so hard. So how do you shift your frequency? That's what this book is all about. Step 1. Raise your awareness. If you want to change your reality, you first have to notice what you're currently accepting. Jen insists, awareness is the key to everything. Start paying attention. 2. The thoughts you repeat every day, the people you surround yourself with, the way you talk about money, love, success, the energy you bring into a room, everything you do is either expanding or shrinking your power. Once you see the patterns, you can break them. And that's when the fun begins. Asterisk, in the next part of this journey, we'll expose the exact ways your subconscious is sabotaging your dreams and how to rewire it so it works for you, not against you. Because you don't need more effort, you need more alignment. And the moment you flip that internal switch, you stop chasing life and start attracting it. If you're loving this journey so far, don't forget to like, comment, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a dose of inspiration. Stick with us till the end, because the real badass in you is just getting started. Asterisk, we've all heard it before. Change your thoughts, change your life. Sounds nice. But how do you actually do it? Been thinking the same way for decades. Most of it automatic, most of it invisible, and almost none of it actually serving you. So let's go deeper. Because according to Jen Sincero, until you get your subconscious mind on board, you'll always feel like you're driving with one foot on the gas and the other on the brake. The mindset loop that keeps you stuck, imagine your brain, is a vinyl record. If it's been playing, not good enough for 20 plus years, that groove is deep. It becomes default. You don't even realize it's there. You just live your life in response to it. You don't ask for a raise because the record says you're lucky to even have a job. You don't apply for the opportunity because the record says you'll fail. You don't raise your standards because the record says you should be grateful for crumbs. You're not unmotivated, you're programmed. But the beautiful thing about the mind is this. It can be rewritten. It can be retrained. It can become your ally instead of your anchor. Awareness gives choice, gives changes in, breaks it down into 3 steps. Awareness. Notice your thought patterns. Become the observer. Instead of saying, I suck, catch yourself and say, interesting. It's the old story again. Choice. Every time you notice the loop, choose differently. Replace it, even if it feels like a lie at first. I am capable. I attract abundance. I am worthy of love. Change. Repetition makes it real. Not once, not twice, but daily, until the new groove becomes deeper than the old. 1. You have to want your dreams more than you want your drama. Jen Sincero, feed your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Let's talk about what you're feeding your brain, because your thoughts are not isolated there. Influenced every single day. Ask yourself, what kind of content do you consume? Who do you surround yourself with? You hearing people talk about possibility or limitation? You scroll past inspiration because cynicism feels safer? Jen doesn't sugarcoat this. If your environment is trash, your results will be. 2. Upgrade your inputs, and your outputs will follow. Read books that elevate you. Listen to audio that challenges you. Spend time with people who are already living the life you want. This isn't toxic positivity, it's energetic protection. Visualization with emotion equals transformation. Here's something most people miss. Visualization without emotion is just daydreaming. You can stare at your vision board all day long. But unless you feel it deep in your gut, like it's already real, it won't rewire anything. Jen pushes us to not just see the version of ourselves we want to become, but to become emotionally obsessed with it. What does your ideal life taste like? How would you walk, talk, breathe, show up? Who would you stop apologizing to? What would you stop tolerating? Feel it now. Watch your reality start to match your energy. Daily practices that reshape your reality want results. Great rituals, not random bursts of motivation here. Are Jen's no-sense practices for getting your subconscious in sync with your badass self? Affirmations, speak power, not fear. Even if you don't believe it yet, speak it. Gratitude. Actively thank the universe for what you already have and what's on the way. Meditation. Quiet the noise. Get still enough to hear your higher self. Take scary action. Confidence. Doesn't come before action. It comes from action. Do the thing. You're not going to think your way into a better life. You're going to act your way there. Shift from scarcity to magnetic energy. One of the biggest mindset rewires in the book is this. Life isn't happening to you. It's responding to you. When you vibrate from a place of lack of love, money, confidence, you attract more of it. But when you show up as someone who expects miracles, who believes in their power, who walks with boldness, the universe can't help but match that. That's not fluff. It's how energy works. Asterisk. So how do you start living like the badass you already are? In the next segment, we're diving deep into money mindset, fear breakthroughs, and how to stop apologizing for wanting an epic life. Because guess what? You don't get what you deserve. You get what you believe, and we're about to raise that belief so high, it'll make the old you uncomfortable. If this helped shift your thinking even 1%, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And keep watching, because segment 3 is where the real magic starts. Asterisk, If your relationship with money feels toxic, distant, or flat out stressful, it's not your fault. But it is your responsibility. Most people grow up with silent lessons about money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. You have to work hard just to get by. It's not spiritual to care about money. Those phrases, they sink into your subconscious like malware. And one day you're an adult, working 2 jobs, saying affirmations, doing the hustle, but still broke, frustrated, and stuck. That's not a lack of effort. That's a belief. System running against you. Now that you've seen how fear and money have been subtly shaping your story, it's time to break the rules. In the next segment, we're diving into radical self-love, boundaries, how to stop living for other people's approval. Because being a badass isn't just about mindset. It's about how you show up, speak up, and finally live out loud. If this hit home, drop A in the comments and share this with someone who's been dimming their light for too long. And stay tuned because the next chapter, it's about becoming an apologetically you. Asterisk, we've talked about mindset, we've tackled fear, we've unmasked the lies about money. But none of that transformation matters unless you finally become yourself, the real you. The bold, brilliant, weird, wild, flawed, fiery version of you that you've buried under layers of people-pleasing, perfectionism, and fear of judgment. Jen Sincero says it plain, you are perfect. To think anything less is as pointless as a river thinking it's got too many curves. The truth? Most people don't need more strategies. They need more self-permission. Permission to stop asking for approval, permission to take up space, permission to love themselves not when they're perfect, but right now. The approval addiction, let's call it what it is. Too many of us are addicted to approval. We post for likes. We say yes. When we mean no, we water down our truth so nobody feels uncomfortable. We stay small so others won't feel threatened. But here's the gut punch. Every time you choose other people's comfort over your own authenticity, you abandon yourself. And the more you abandon yourself, the more anxious, resentful, and powerless. You feel Jen doesn't pull punches here. You'll never become the badass you're meant to be while constantly seeking permission to exist. Radical self-love. Not just bubble baths. This isn't about pampering. It's about liberation. Radical self-love means owning your story, even the messy parts, forgiving yourself for not knowing better back then, celebrating your quirks instead of hiding them, refusing to apologize for being too much or not enough. Most importantly, it means making yourself a priority, not an afterthought. And that's not selfish. It's essential, because the world doesn't benefit from your self-sacrifice. It benefits from your wholeness. Boundaries. Your badass force field want to change your life fast? Set boundaries. That means saying no without explaining, cutting off draining relationships, refusing to engage in gossip, drama, or guilt trips, protecting your energy like your life depends on it because it does. Yun calls boundaries the high fences of a badass life. Without them, you'll keep leaking energy. You'll say yes to what doesn't serve you. You'll burn out trying to fix people who don't want to be fixed. Here's the real talk. You can't live a big, bold life while tolerating things that feel small and heavy. Boundaries aren't mean, they're sacred. Rejection is redirection, one of the biggest fears that keeps people from living authentically. Rejection. But Jen reframes rejection as a gift, a tool, a guide. When someone doesn't accept the real you, that's not a loss. That's proof that you're on the right path. Rejection clears space. It makes room for people who do align with your truth. It helps you stop pretending and start attracting. So if someone ghosted you, criticized you, or walked away when you finally stood up for yourself, celebrate it. You're finally becoming you. Step into your vibe. The more you love and honor yourself, the more magnetic you become. Jen says that energy is everything, and the energy of self-love is unmistakable. It looks like walking into a room without shrinking, laughing too loud, and not caring, wearing what makes you feel alive, creating unapologetically, being proud of your progress. Not obsessed with perfection. When you live like this, life starts to rearrange itself around your vibe, people respect you more. Opportunities chase you. Peace finds you. Not because you're better, but because you're finally being real. Let go of who you're not to become who you really are. You've got to release who you're not. That means shedding the nice guy persona, the overachiever mask, the victim identity, the caretaker role you never signed up for. None, if foes are you. They were just survival tactics. But survival mode isn't living, it's existing. And you weren't born to just exist. Asterisk in the next segment. We'll unlock the power of action and how to stop hesitating, overthinking, and sabotaging your own growth. Because being a badass isn't a mindset, it's a way of being. If this spoke to your soul, drop a "I'm done playing small" in the comments. And don't forget, your most powerful self is already inside you. You just need to stop pretending to be anyone else. Keep watching. Asterisk, you've done the affirmations, you've journaled the dreams, you've visualized, meditated, and whispered sweet nothings to the universe. But here's the truth bomb most people avoid. Nothing changes until you move. You don't attract a badass life by just thinking like a badass. You earn it by taking messy, scary, uncomfortable, glorious action. That's where most people freeze. Because action means risk. You could fail. You could be judged. You could mess it all up. But do you want to know the only thing worse than failing? Never trying at all. Stop overthinking. It's killing your dreams. You don't need another self-help book. You don't need to research one more method. You don't need to wait until everything's perfect. You need to do something. Anything. Because clarity doesn't come before action. It comes from action. Think of your mind like a car's GPS. It can't reroute you if you're not moving. So stop asking, what if it doesn't work? Start asking, what if it does? Jen Sincero is ruthless about this. The only failure is quitting. Everything else is just gathering information. Overthinking is just fear in disguise. And fear is not the boss anymore. You are done. Is better than perfect. If you've been paralyzed by perfectionism, this is your moment to let it go. Perfection is an illusion. It's a tool your ego uses to delay your progress. You'll never feel 100% ready. You'll never have zero doubts. You'll never silence every inner critic. But badassery isn't about waiting for the stars to align. It's about showing up messy and moving anyway. Start the podcast, launch the business. Write the first page, have the uncomfortable conversation, even if your voice shakes, even if your hands tremble, even if nobody claps, because action breeds confidence, not the other way around. Momentum is your best friend. The first step is always the hardest. But once you take it, something magical happens. Momentum. Jen compares it to a snowball rolling down a hill at first. It's slow, awkward, clumsy, but as it builds speed, it gains power. And soon it's unstoppable. That's how your dreams work. To dot the first dollar. The first video. The first yes. It won't be perfect, but it will be real. And that's what starts the avalanche. Trust the process. This part might stretch you. You don't have to know how it'll all work. You just have to know why you're doing it. And take the next step. The universe meets clarity and movement with unexpected opportunities. But most people stall at the start because they don't see the whole staircase. Guess what? You're not supposed to. Your job is to take the next right step, and the next, then the next. And yes, some of them will be wrong, but that's part of the process. Mistakes aren't dead ends. They're course corrections. Keep moving. Keep trusting. Building momentum. No more excusing you're busy, you're tired. You don't know enough. You're scared. We get it. We all are, but if you're serious about changing your life, there's one rule. Your excuses are nothing more than a story you keep telling yourself. You can rewrite that story today, even if you only take one step, even if nobody sees it. But you, because you'll feel it. And that feeling, it's the frequency of becoming. Take aligned action. This isn't about grinding until you burn out. It's about aligned action, doing the thing that calls to your soul. Start small, but be consistent. 10 pages a day, 5 outreach emails a week, 1 bold. Yes. Every month, 30 minutes of focused creation each morning. You don't need overnight success. You need daily evidence that you're moving. That's what builds belief. That's what builds a badass life. Now that you've stepped into motion. There's one more shift that locks it all into place. In the next segment, we'll talk about faith, surrender, and trusting your inner compass, even when nothing makes sense. Because once you align your actions with your highest self, the universe will take care of the rest. If you took action on anything today, even just shifting your mindset drop. Hey, I'm moving in the comments. Keep watching because the next part of your journey is about becoming unshakable in your trust, even when the road gets rough. So far, you've done the work. You've faced your fears. You've called out your limiting beliefs. You've taken bold, imperfect action. But now comes the part that feels hardest of all. Letting go. Because the truth is, no matter how much you plan, hustle, journal, and visualize, there comes a point where you have to surrender. You have to trust. You have to release control. You have to believe in something bigger than your brain. Jen Sincero puts it bluntly. Faith is having the audacity to believe in the not yet seen. And most people? They don't struggle with action, they struggle with attachment. They're doing all the right things, but secretly clinging, panicking, trying to force results on their timeline. That's not faith. That's fear in disguise. Surrender isn't giving up, it's letting the magic. Let's break this myth. Surrender does not equal giving up. Surrender is releasing the death grip you've got on how things have to happen. It's saying, I'm doing my part, and I trust the rest will unfold. I'm open to something even better than what I imagined. I let go of forcing, and I lean into flow. It's releasing anxiety and replacing it with trust, not because you're passive, but because you've aligned your energy, and now you're allowing the universe to meet you halfway. When you stop forcing, life starts flowing. Let go of the timeline. One of the fastest ways to kill your momentum, obsessing over when it will happen. Jen calls this out hard. You manifest by aligning your energy with what you desire, not by setting deadlines and panicking when they're not met. If you plant a seed and dig it up every day to check if it's growing, you'll kill it. Same with your dreams. Do the work, water the vision, then chill out. When you trust in divine timing, you don't just reduce stress, you open space for better outcomes than your limited mind could ever imagine. Because the delay might be a setup for something far greater. Detach from the outcome. This is what separates dreamers from manifestors. Dreamers obsess over specific outcomes. Manifestors focus on alignment, intention, and energy. It's not about lowering your standards. It's about lifting your trust. You want the six-figure business? Great. But don't attach your happiness to it. You want the dream partner? Beautiful. Don't let your worth hinge on it. You want the house, the body, the book deal? It's amazing. But detach from the need and stay connected to the desire. Why? Because needy energy repels, and magnetic energy attracts. Let the universe do its job, Jen says it clearly. Your job is not to know the how. Your job is to know the what, and to be in energetic alignment with it. You don't have to micromanage the universe. You don't need to know which email will go viral. You don't need to predict which client will say yes. You don't need to control how the opportunity finds you. You just have to stay in alignment. Keep your vibe high. Take inspired action. And then let it go. Surrender is a daily practice. This isn't a one-time thing. Every morning, you may have to surrender your fears, doubts, deadlines, need for control. Scarcity thoughts. Surrender is a muscle. You strengthen it by choosing trust. Every single day, especially when nothing is happening yet. Because your faith will always be tested before your breakthrough. Don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle. Don't lower your energy to match the delay. Hold the vision. Trust the process. Relax into the unknown. That's where miracles live. The paradox of manifestation here. It's the paradox most people never get. The more detached you are from the outcome, the faster it arrives. Why? Because desperation equals resistance. Peace equals allowance. When you're no longer trying to get, you start to receive, and that's when the right call comes. The email, opportunity, the yes you stopped chasing, because you stopped trying to force its hand, became a match for it. So what happens when the universe does deliver? In the next segment, we'll talk about receiving, celebrating, and owning your worth, because being a badass isn't just about becoming, it's about allowing yourself to have what you asked for. If this gave you peace, power, or even just a breath of clarity, type I trust the flow in the comments. And don't go anywhere, because segment 7, it's all about what to do once your life actually starts changing. Asterisk, you've done the inner work. You've cleared the noise. You've taken messy action and surrendered control. Now comes a stage most people never prepare for. Receiving. It sounds easy, right? Who doesn't want to receive more money, love, joy, and success? But here's the twist. Most people are terrified of receiving. Because receiving requires one thing they've never truly embraced: worthiness. You get what you believe you deserve. Jen Sincero lays it out like a slap of truth. If you want to live a badass life, you've got to get mighty comfortable with receiving what you say you want. It doesn't matter how hard you work or how much you affirm. If deep down you believe you're not worthy of success, you'll block it, sabotage it, downplay it, push it away. This isn't a confidence issue. This is a receiving wound. So, if you've ever shrugged off compliments, undercharged your worth, felt awkward getting paid, rejected help when you needed it, minimized your success so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable, then congratulations, you've hit the exact point where your old identity is trying to keep you small, but not anymore. Badasses know how to receive. Here's what receiving really looks like: saying thank you without deflecting, letting abundance flow without guilt, feeling joy without needing to earn it, celebrating yourself loudly and unapologetically, because guess what? Receiving isn't selfish. It's courageous. It means you're finally allowing life to love you back. You're letting the universe keep its promise. And when you receive fully, you give others permission to do the same. Celebrate every win, big or small. Success without celebration is a setup for burnout. Jen is huge on this. You've got to celebrate the crap out of your progress. Why? Because your brain needs proof that it's safe to win. That success equals joy. That effort equals reward. Every time you hit a new goal, receive unexpected income, show up even when afraid, break an old pattern, speak your truth, pause and celebrate, even if it's just a dance in your kitchen, a victory post, a solo toast with your favorite coffee. Celebrate like it already happened, because that vibration, it multiplies everything. Accept with open hands if someone offers to help. Say yes. If an opportunity feels too good, accept it anyway. If a client is thrilled to pay your worth, receive it with gratitude, not guilt. You've done the work. You've shown up. Now let yourself enjoy the harvest. This isn't the time to play humble. It's the time to own your shine. Watch for the sneaky self-sabotages is where things get sneaky. Sometimes when things finally start going right, part of you might panic. This can't be real. I don't deserve this. Something bad is going to happen now. That's just the old identity feeling unsafe. Jen's advice: don't let your old self drag you back down just because she's uncomfortable. With growth, remind yourself, you're not lucky. You're not fooling anyone. You're not on borrowed time. You earned this. You aligned with this. You are ready for this. Stay in receiving mode and cut off the flow just because you reached one goal. Receiving is a way of life. Stay open. Stay grateful. Keep expecting miracles. Make I am available for more your mantra, because the universe doesn't run out of blessings. It just waits for you to stop blocking them. Embody the new you. Here's the final step. In receiving, become the version of you who already has it. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until the external proof stacks up. Start acting like her now. Walk like her. Make decisions like her. Hold boundaries like her. Speak like her. Rest like her. Receive like her. Because when you become energetically aligned with your desires, life has no choice but to rise to your new frequency. Now that you've stepped into worthiness and learned how to receive, it's time to talk about legacy. How to stay badass for the long run, inspire others by your example, and live fully, deeply, and wide open. Because this journey, it's not just about you anymore. If you're ready to receive with wide open arms, drop a "I am worthy" in the comments. Keep watching, because in segment 8, we take this transformation beyond just personal growth and turn it into a lifestyle. So now you've done it. You've cracked the code. You've dropped the fear. You've stopped playing small. You've learned to receive and trust and move with purpose. But here's what separates the dabblers from the truly unstoppable. They don't just change once. They stay changed. They don't go back to hiding after one success. They don't tone it down when people get uncomfortable. They don't forget who they are when life tests them again. They make their badassery a way of life. And that, my friend, is where your journey now shifts from internal growth to external impact. Transformation isn't an event. It's a rhythm. Jen Sincero reminds us. You are responsible for what you say yes to, for what you tolerate, and for who you become. That means growth doesn't stop. Confidence doesn't. Stay without fuel. Your energy needs maintenance. So how do you stay aligned? You build rhythms that support your power, morning routines that light you up, people who challenge and uplift you, environments that feel expansive, boundaries that protect your energy, regular mindset check-ins, and spiritual tune-ups. Don't wait for breakdowns to reset. You live on purpose. Every single day, the world needs your example. Let's make something clear. Your transformation isn't just for you. It's permission for others to rise. Every time you speak your truth, own your success, set that boundary, chase that dream, raise that standard. You're showing others what's possible. Your courage creates ripple effects. Your joy becomes contagious. Your boldness becomes a mirror for someone else's breakthrough. Be the proof. Don't preach confidence, embody it. Don't beg for change, become it. Because the world doesn't need more perfection. It needs more realness, more fire. More people fully alive. Refuse to shrink again. You'll be tempted to go back, to settle, to blend in. Especially when people start saying things like, "You've changed." Don't get too full of yourself. Who do you think you are? And your answer? I'm someone who finally remembered who the hell I am. You don't owe anyone the dimmed version of yourself. You weren't born to play backup in your own life. So if being your full self makes people uncomfortable, let them adjust or leave. Your job isn't to manage their insecurities. Your job is to own your damn light. Make joy your compass. Success is great. Freedom is incredible, but joy is the real wealth. Build a life that feels light, spacious, alive, laugh too loud, dance when there's no music. Say no to things that don't vibe. Say yes to things that make no logical sense, but make your soul light up. Because when joy is your compass, you never lose direction. Keep the inner work alive even after you've shifted. The world will test you. You'll get triggered. You'll doubt yourself again. You'll hit new edges. That's not failure. That's expansion. So keep the tools close. Meditate, journal, read things that stretch your mind. Get coached, mentored, supported, and never stop asking, does this align with the version of me I'm becoming? Because staying a badass requires choosing that version of you every day. Leave a legacy of light. Your legacy isn't built in grand speeches or viral posts. It's built in the quiet choices you make when no one's watching. To act with integrity, to love, with depth to serve, with joy to live without apology. When people watch how you live, they'll feel what's possible for them. You don't need to save the world. You just need to light your corner of it, and that changes everything. This may be the last segment of the audiobook summary, but it's just the beginning of your next level. You've got the clarity. You've got the tools. You've got the fire. Now it's time to be the person who actually lives it. Because one day, someone will look at your life and say, because of you, I didn't give up. If this journey lit a fire in you, drop "I'm living as a badass" in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you want more powerful transformations like this. This isn't just content. This is your reminder. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are a badass. Your best life begins the second you claim it.